Have you ever looked in the mirror and thought, who am I anymore? You're not sad enough to cry every day, but not happy enough to feel alive either. You smile through it, show up for everyone else, and wonder why you feel so empty. If this hits close to home, stay with me. This episode might be exactly what your soul's been waiting for. I want to welcome you to MenoSpark, the podcast that helps Gen X women reignite their spark through menopause and beyond. I'm your host, Allie. I'm a board certified sexologist, menopause care provider, and your go to guide for navigating the wild, weird, and wonderful ride that is midlife. If you're new here, welcome. Be sure to hit that follow button so that you never miss an episode. And if you're returning, you know I love you. I want to thank you for being part of this amazing community. Also, if you're feeling stuck and want personalized support to get your energy, libido, and overall wellness back on track, go over to Menopause Wellness and check out my 20-minute integrative wellness consult. It's like a menopause reset button. And who doesn't need one of those? If you'd like to be a guest for Spark Sessions, which is part of this podcast, please see the links below in the show's notes. I would love to talk to professionals who help women in midlife, and I would love to talk to midlife women who are going through it all and would like to share their story to others so they don't feel so quite alone. Now, today's episode is a tough one, but it's a necessary one. Depression, seeking help and finding hope. Let's be real. Menopause isn't all hot flashes and mood swings. It can hit deep. And for many of us, depression creeps in quietly. You may start to feel like you've lost yourself. You're exhausted. You can't sleep. You can feel lonely in a crowded room. And you wonder to yourself, what is going on? If this sounds like you're not alone. And more importantly, you're not broken. I always start this with story time with Allie. And I'm always very truthful if something hits home with me. Depression. Hindsight, as they say, is 2020, right? But all anybody had to do to know that I was depressed during Carrie was to walk into my house because you would walk into the house and it was a shit show. I I have, if you remember, twelve cats and a dog. At that time, I had three dogs when I lived in this other house. And all you had to do was walk in and take a look around and say, "Whoa, what is going on here?" So I never cleaned. I didn't. I ran the vacuum every now and again. Oh, I did dishes. I did dishes and I did my laundry and stuff like that. But the place was filthy and absolutely disgusting. And in hindsight, I realized that I was depressed. And I didn't show the ordinary symptoms, thinking about, self harm or I don't have hope or if I'm anxious or really sad all the time. I was just numb. I was numb. I blocked absolutely everything out. Honestly, this is when I was driving a school bus as well, and I did like my job, even though it was astronomically challenging every single day, every single minute of every single day that I worked there. I was never bored. However, I did like driving the actual bus. The parents, the administration, and coworkers, I think, is where my stress came in. Anyways, I didn't have what I would consider ordinary symptoms. I'd go to the doctor and they'd give me the depression checklist once a year. You feeling these things? And I'm like, no, no, no. Man, you're not depressed. Nowhere did anybody ask me if I was numb. Nowhere did anybody ask me, are you paying attention to your surroundings? Do you realize the shithole you're living in? Huh? It might have woken me up. And then I would have said, no, I don't pay attention. And no, I don't really care. I don't care. I didn't care. Um, and the little light bulb ding 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 might have went off and somebody would have said, "Hey, Allie, you're depressed." But that was me. And since I have moved from that house to my current house here in Akron, I'm not depressed, and I know this because I keep things tidy. It's not astronomically clean because I have 12 cats and 1 dog now. The other one unfortunately died off. Um, but I know when it's messy. I know when I need to vacuum and when I need to clean the counters and when I need to put stuff away. And if the cat has done something cat-like, I go clean it up instead of just ignoring it. I can tell I am an entirely different person. I believe this helped one, moving my location, and two, going through peri, having my 1 day of menopause, and then being in post. All right. Even though I will say depression can last in post, my scenery has changed dramatically, and I contribute that to my spark in attitude, spark in zest, as they say, and also doing research for menopause, I have found a lot of things that nobody told me, nobody offered me, nobody even pointed me in any direction, not even saying, hey, go look over there. Nothing. Everything I've done for myself and what I do for my um, clients has been self learned for the most part, except for the stuff I'm learning in mind body medicine and, of course, integrative functional nutrition. That all said, let us move on. So, depression and menopause, what does it look like? Depression and menopause can show up differently than you'd expect. Sometimes it's crying for no reason, other times it's numbness, hello, or irritability every single day, or feeling like the world just doesn't make sense anymore. I could say that about right now, too. Hormonal changes during menopause, especially the dips in estrogen, can impact serotonin and dopamine, the feel good chemicals in your brain. Add in life transitions, empty nests, aging parents, and society's brilliant, otherwise known as crappy, message that menopausal women are past their prime. WTF, right? It's a storm. It's a hormonal, emotional, spiritual storm. So how do you know it's not just a mood or a bad day? Depression presents differently on each woman. You can feel persistently sad, anxious, or hopeless for more than 2 weeks. You withdraw from people and the things you love. You have trouble eating, sleeping, or concentrating. You have thoughts of self harm or just don't feel like waking up. And you're irritable all the time, right? And you also zone out your surroundings. That's the numb part. If any of this sounds familiar, please reach out. Talk to your doctor, call a therapist, reach out to a friend. You don't need to be in crisis to get support, and you don't have to wait until it's unbearable. And here's the good news there is help, and there is hope. Therapy, especially with somebody who understands women's health, can be a game changer. So can medication. There's zero shame in using whatever tools help you feel like you again. And if it's not medication, food is medicine. Throw that out there. And if you're looking for, holistic support, herbs like St. John's wort, uh, I can never pronounce this, Roladola, which I think I was talking about last week, Rhodiola, or the Ashwagandha one, I can never say. They can support mood regulation. Always check with a provider, of course. But there are other lifelines. Movement, even gentle walks, release endorphins. Community. Find your people online, in person, or whatever. Creativity. Journal, paint, dream, do karaoke, whatever you want to do. Connection. Soulful, spiritual, sacred connection with yourself or the divine. And above all else, please, self compassion. You don't need to snap out of it. You need to be held, heard, and honored. If today's episode hit home, see you. I've been there. And I promise there's a way forward. Please don't walk this road alone. You are worthy of healing, connection, and joy. Next week, we're diving into another heavy hitter. We're going to talk about irritability, maintaining harmony in relationships. It is, again, going to be raw, real, and yes, I hope, uplifting as well. I want to thank you for hanging out with me here on MenoSpark today. I hope you enjoyed the episode, and if you found this helpful, please share it with a friend, leave a review, and make sure you're subscribed. Follow me on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, and Substack, Menopausal Minute, for even more tips, tricks, and inspiration. If I just told you this today, let me be the first to say it. You are fabulous. Remember, you're not alone on this journey. And until next time, keep that spark alive. You deserve it.